Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asad Yaqub and I am from Lahore, Pakistan. A great hello to all of you. This is my first video on CELPIP. CELPIP stands for Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program. The first thing is you need to know what is CELPIP. CELPIP stands for Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program. So this is a test which is used for Canada only. If you are planning to go to Canada and you are not happy with IELTS, or if you think IELTS is difficult, IELTS is tricky, they are not giving band score in IELTS, then I think CELPIP is the best choice for you. Now I'm going to tell you about CELPIP speaking test. And by the way, I'm making this video on the demand of many of my students. They were asking me to tell us about CELPIP and which is better, IELTS or CELPIP. So if you're just planning to go to Canada, then I think CELPIP is the best option. So far, they don't have any test center in Pakistan, but they do have a test center in India, in UAE and some other countries. But now they are planning to expand. So probably in a year or so, you will have CELPIP test center in your city as well. Anyways, this time I'm going to tell you about CELPIP speaking test. CELPIP is Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program. So let's see. I'm going to tell you about a complete test of CELPIP speaking, and you can compare it with IELTS. Now you know already in IELTS speaking there are 3 parts, part 1, part 2, part 3. In CELPIP we've got around 8 parts. So the good thing about CELPIP is this, that they give you time for preparation. In speaking module, before each activity, before each task, they give you time for preparation, and that time is around 30 seconds. In IELTS speaking, they only give you time for speaking before section 2. Otherwise, they ask a question and you have to answer immediately. But in CELPIP speaking, they give you 30 minutes and the task, and then you can prepare, and after that you can speak. So speaking task 1 is called giving advice. It's actually preparation time is 30 seconds and then recording, because CELPIP is an online test, so then the recording time is 90 seconds. Okay, what's the situation? The situation is a friend of yours wants to buy a special gift for his wife to celebrate their wedding anniversary. Now this is CELPIP speaking task 1, giving advice. And what's the situation? A friend of yours wants to buy a special gift for his wife to celebrate their wedding anniversary. Advise him about different gifts he can get. With this topic, they are going to give you 30 seconds for preparation, and then after 30 seconds, you have to speak for 90 seconds. Is it okay? Now you can just make up your mind, and basically the purpose of this video is those who want to go to Canada, they can understand what is CELPIP and how CELPIP is different. I'm not going to draw any conclusion whether IELTS is difficult and CELPIP is easy, or CELPIP is difficult, IELTS is easy and all that. I'm just telling you about CELPIP, and then you have to decide for yourself what is easy and what is difficult. This is CELPIP speaking part 1, giving advice. Now let's go on to CELPIP speaking part 2 or task 2, and task 2 is called talking about a personal experience. In CELPIP speaking task 2, you will have to talk about a personal experience. Again, you will be given 30 seconds for preparation and you have to speak for 60 seconds. So let's see what is the situation. Talk about a time when something did not happen the way you first expected. Maybe you can talk about something that did not happen according to plan when you were working on a project or when you were trying to accomplish something. At first, how did you expect things to happen? How did they actually happen? And what was your response? Now this is talking about a personal experience, and this is CELPIP speaking task 2. They will give you 30 seconds, and after 30 seconds you will have to speak on this situation for 60 seconds, and they will record your voice because CELPIP is an online test. After that, CELPIP speaking part 3, describing a scene. They are going to give you a photo and you have to describe a scene. For this, preparation time is 30 seconds and recording is for 60 seconds. I mean, you got to speak for 60 seconds. Now, what's the situation? Describe some things that are happening in the picture below. As you can see the picture as well. Describe some things that are happening in the picture below as well as you can. The person with whom you are speaking cannot see the picture. Now you got to assume that I am looking at the picture and the person with whom I am talking, he cannot take a look at the picture. So I am explaining, this is the picture of a classroom and the students are talking, they are chatting and the classroom is really messed up. Some students are writing on the whiteboard and the teacher is talking to someone at the door and the teacher has turned her back towards the students. That's why they are making a noise. Some students are chatting, others are laughing, they are smiling. Like this, you're going to explain this picture. So this is CELPIP speaking task 3, describing a scene. They'll give you a picture and you got to prepare in 30 seconds and then you'll have to speak on that picture for 60 seconds. Next, CELPIP speaking task 4. Task 4 is basically making predictions. Now you got to make some predictions, you got to foresay something, okay? So preparation time is 30 seconds and recording time is 60 seconds, means you have to speak for 60 seconds. In this picture, what do you think will most probably happen next? Now the same picture and you're going to predict. So in this picture, what do you think will most probably happen next? You can say, well, I think the teacher will come back to the class and she will become very serious and she will be angry. First of all, she will punish the students who are writing on the board. After that, she will take a serious notice of all the students who were chatting and making noise. She will ask all the students to stand up, something like that you will talk. So this is in future tense. After that, we've got CELPIP speaking task 5, Canadian English Language Proficiency Index Program. Okay, so there are 6 things in that. So speaking task 5 is comparing and persuading. Preparation time is 1 minute and then you have to speak for 1 minute on that. This is speaking part 5. Now what they are going to do, they will give you some pictures and then they will give you some details. For example, you can take a look at these pictures. New downtown house, new downtown townhouse, $250,000, 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, 1,850 square feet, close to public transportation and shopping malls. And then there is another one, detached home in quiet neighborhood, $300,000 is the price, 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, 2,800 square feet, 30 minutes from downtown, 5 minutes from shops. So you need to compare these 2 houses. This is speaking task 5 in CELPIP speaking. All that is online actually, they record it. This is the online test. Well, then we've got the situation they have given, that is your family is relocating to another area and you are looking for a new home there. You found 2 suitable options. Using the pictures and information below, choose the option that you prefer out of these 2. In the next section, you will need to persuade a family member that your choice is better choice. If you do not choose an option, the computer will choose one for you and you do not need to speak for this part, right? This is how it is going to go on. Let's go on with CELPIP speaking task 6. In task 6, it's actually called dealing with a difficult situation. They are going to give you a difficult situation and you have to deal with that difficult situation. Preparation time is 60 seconds and recording time is also 60 seconds. You got to speak for 60 seconds. Now what is that difficult situation? Your child's school has asked you to help with a class field trip. So there is a class field trip and your child's school has asked you to help with the class field trip. Your friend bought you tickets to a baseball game for that same day. Now you've got the tickets for baseball same day. The school will cancel the field trip if there are not enough parents, but your friend will be upset if you cannot go to the baseball game because the tickets were expensive. Choose one. Now you have to choose what is the first option, either talk to the school, explain why you cannot help them with the field trip, or talk to your friend, explain why you cannot attend the game. So this is CELPIP speaking task 6, where you have to deal with a difficult situation. Next, CELPIP speaking task 7, it's longer than IELTS. Expressing opinions. Preparation time is 30 seconds and recording time is 90 seconds. And the question is, do you think all university students should study abroad for a year? If there is sufficient funding, explain your reasons. So this is for expressing opinion, CELPIP speaking task 7. Last task is CELPIP speaking task 8. So remember, there are 8 tasks in CELPIP speaking. So the last task is called describing an unusual situation. In the last task, you have to describe an unusual situation. Preparation time is 30 seconds and recording time is 60 seconds. Now what is it? You see a group of people playing a sport at a recreation center. Call your friend Betty and describe in detail what the sport is like and what each player is doing. Ask her if she would be interested in trying this sport sometimes. So this is describing an unusual situation and you got to speak on that for around 60 seconds. So this is an overview of CELPIP speaking. There are 8 tasks and you have to answer, and your answers are recorded in the computer. You just have to read, and then when you press the button, you got to start your answer and they record your answer. It's a complete online test. So totally it is online, and then they give you the result. So now you can compare CELPIP speaking with IELTS speaking, and then in the comments please write whether IELTS is easy or CELPIP is easy. It's not the matter of what is easy, what is difficult, it's about the band score. If CELPIP gives you good band score, it's okay. I mean, if it fulfills your requirement of going to Canada, then CELPIP can be a good option. Otherwise, IELTS is fantastic. So thank you very much. I made this video upon the request of my students, and there you are. I dedicate this video to those who are planning to go to Canada and they're looking for another option other than IELTS. If you like this video, hit on the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel, this channel and the other channel, Asad Yaqub Vlogs. I also teach CELPIP online. If you want to join my online CELPIP classes, you can contact me for that. My WhatsApp number is given. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best with your CELPIP preparation. Take good care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.